Welcome back to Thoroughbred Weekly. I'm Eric Donovan, joined now by Andy Serling. It's time for our Trips and Traps segment, where we look at some horses that have run in the past and look for some troubled trips, and hopefully they're running back in a race soon. And we do have one of those types of horses running back on a Wednesday. It's the 9th race on Wednesday, the number 3 horse Clonin. We're going to take a look at the race on January 24th. Clonin was a big price to stay. Number 6, 96 to 1, coming off a layoff and a trainer change.
Yeah, he was certainly a hard horse to like going into this race. And I guess if he took his form apart afterwards, knowing that he finished 3rd with this crazy trip in here, that maybe you could have said he could have been a real wise guy horse. And here he is, just when he sort of separates from the pack. And he just got a sort of very, very wide trip and ran a shockingly good race, especially for him. Not necessarily good enough to win this race on Wednesday, and Eric and I will debate that in a few seconds, but I thought Clonin ran pretty well in here, and with a stronger ride would have won the race. Well,
he is ridden in this race by a 7-pound apprentice at the Ocon, and now gets Orlando Boca Chica for the race here on Wednesday. And we're going to see him kind of disappear from the pan shot there, but we're going to pick up the head-on as they move into the turn. You're going to see Clonin on the outside and white about 7th, I guess, right now at this point, something like that. Maybe
8th or 9th,
7th,
somewhere well back.
8th, 9th, something like that. He's far back, and you're going to see here drift out farther on the turn. You know, just losing ground on the turn here. A horse that you know, is kind of far behind in this race, just drifting out. You're going to see in about the 6th path here, right there, highlighted outside. Going to even go wider than this at this point in on the turn here. 6 horse in the back. We're going to take a look at it rolling now, and you see just getting even wider out on the turn.
Yeah, you know, it's just the whole way he was ridden. He just never really had a fair chance. And here he is at the 5/16 pole as they're getting ready to turn home, actually closer to the quarter pole. I mean, he's well out in almost the 8th path, and other guys are sort of saving ground. There's a cute. It's one thing to be 2 or 3 wide. When you start getting out as wide as this horse was, and you can see just not really controlling him, and this horse is still running. He's at least 8 wide turning for home. I mean, you're spotting the other horses so much because they've been saving ground and saving energy. I mean, not only is he wide and losing ground, we can see his head sort of coming in the picture, but he's also, it's hard to I think it's just hard to accelerate. You're not saving anything. He's expanding energy, making this wide run, and yet Clonin sort of amazingly continues to run on in this race and finishes 3rd. And also, he's lugging in the stretch, which is sort of amazing considering how far out he was. I just think Clonin needed a stronger ride. It was his first start off a layoff. He hadn't run since May, and it was such a deviation from any other race he ever ran. I'm going to take a chance that Clonin moves forward. He's stretching out. This was a 6-furlong race. He's got to go a mile on Wednesday's race. The field's a little bit tougher, I would say, tougher than the horses he faced in this race, but I'm giving Clonin a shot.
I think a lot depends on what odds you think he's going to go off in here. Go Close to Home should be the favorite in the race. Run From Hell's got speed from the inside. Those 2 horses should have some separation on the tote board, but you know, around horses like Clonin and Nolite Tamari. But what's your cutoff price for Clonin? I'd say probably I don't want to take any lower than 5 to 1, absolutely, and I might be a little bit skeptical around 5 to 1.
I agree with you there. I think he's supposed to be about 8 to 1 in this race. This is Wednesday's 9th race. I think he's supposed to be in the 8 to 10 to 1 range, and I'm going to take a shot with him. Now, obviously, you try to get alive, and whether it's doubles or pick 3s or pick 4s, but I'm going to take a chance with Clonin and bet him in this race to win, assuming we get the 8-10 to 1. He was 96 to 1, low-profile connections, not the kind of horse that can be that short a price. Determined Again, the horse breaking outside of him, the 4. I think he's a little bit interesting. I'm kind of tired of the ones from this group that have been running against each other all week, so I'm going to bet Clonin to win in here if I'm not alive in the pick 4, and I'm going to box him the exacta with the 4, Determined Again.
All right, keep in mind you can find our regular segment of Trips and Traps on the YouTube website, the NYRA YouTube website. Go to the website on there, youtube.com/NYRA video. Trips and Traps at NYRAinc.com is the email. We love to get emails from you getting suggestions about races we could show on the weekly segment.
Absolutely. Love to hear from people, and we appreciate people watching, and good luck with Clonin and good luck in general.
All right, that does it for Trips and Traps. When we come back, we'll head out west to Santa Anita, take a look at Stardom Bound running out there first time this year, and we'll be right back with more races of the week.